Alright guys, how are you guys doing this morning? We don't come again. This one is all about Dele Momodu versus Wike. Watch this.
So Wike started making small money. And then thereafter, he had enough money to drink his choice alcohol from Akpeteshi, otherwise known as Gogoro. He started drinking the most expensive alcohol. I went into Google before this interview to check if there is any similarity or correlation between alcohol and drugs. And I got the confirmation I needed.
What's the name? Dele Momodu. For Christ's sake, for crying out loud. Ordinarily, why should I talk about Dele Momodu? Why should I do that? You say
as a distinguished journalist and
I don't know.
A publisher,
please,
former editor of
please, you can have money and be a publisher. Publishing what? Let me tell you. I can tell you authoritatively today. I've never said it anywhere. Dele Momodu does not have what it takes. Credibility or what? I know how he came to me.
To do what?
Oh my God. Ask anybody. He stayed with me for how many weeks? Even when he's eating, with all due respect, there are things I respect people to be decent and dressed. You collect food, the food will be flowing over, falling down. I mean, so please, let me respect myself. You say you ran for presidential, you didn't get one vote. These are the people you are telling me about.
Listen, on this particular video, as soon as I watch them, and also how we presented it a couple of days ago, how Wike came to channels and he go talk saying, oh no, Dele Momodu before. Say, as far as it's concerned, Dele Momodu is a nobody. He's a character that can never be reckoned with. That thing pain Dele Momodu, not be small thing. Dele Momodu can't comment. In fact, they do video for Instagram, Facebook, everything. They try to prove I ain't no Wike. Now, he finally got interview on channels for the right of reply. I want to make you watch all this video. I have something to say. Watch Dele Momodu versus Wike.
All right, we are always fair right here on Channels Television. Without having to use the very popular term by the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, of not belonging to anyone, but you have the interests of all the Nigerian people, whether in power or out of power. But let's get straight to it. And in the conversation that we have prior to this interview, you show just how connected you are to Mr. Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, your history with him, how you met with him. There's a particular part of the video which is made available to me, which I'd like our viewers to see. Let me play a portion of that video so that everyone can see.
My friend Dele Momodu, one of the respected journalists, to come and see whether it is 3D drawing. At the end of the day, by the time you go around the complex, you will know.
All right. On one hand, this is you in Rivers State. There seems to be some level of cordiality between you and Mr. Wike, and which I'm trying to use this video to establish my very first question, so that Nigerians can know exactly what those who want to lead Nigeria, the issue of what they need to bring forward in terms of he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. So again, this is you and Minister Wike, and it shows some level of conviviality and cordiality.
I thought it's me you wanted to drink it. No. Are you trying? The place is filled.
All right. This to me shows around 2019, 2020, or 2021, thereabout. If looking at a picture.
2022.
So there are a lot of people who will imagine that you and Minister Wike have a level of closeness that, in fact, he gave you a job and you lived with you were in Rivers State. But the big question is that there are those who say you collected money from Minister Wike, and was it right to say you took money from him, or you were at some point housed in Rivers State? But now, what went wrong? How did you both now side to the enemies?
Well, let me start with some of the messages I received early this morning. A former Attorney General reached out to me and pleaded with me not to wrestle with a pig. He advised I should not wrestle with it. So I will set the record straight. So I'm not here to wrestle with someone who is absolutely shameless, who does not care about anything in this world other than his alcohol. What we witnessed on television last Friday was the height of recklessness and irresponsibility on the part of someone employed by the federal government of Nigeria to look after the interests of every Nigerian and not just that of his cronies, whether in PDP or in APC. It went beyond normal. And so, to answer your question frontally, I was a media consultant to Nyesom Wike around 2022, and you have the video there. I had interviewed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on this very table. And thereafter, some people reached out to me that I should give Wike a right of reply because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu blasted him heavily that day. And of course, as a responsible journalist, I accepted to speak to him. He was very excited, and during the interview, he reached out directly, you have the video, that I should bring the Ovation team for 2 weeks. He said it with his own mouth. We didn't beg him. My job is my job. I don't ever joke with my job, and I respect whosoever is a client. Wike at that stage was still a bit normal. Tonight, I would like to dissect Wike's metamorphosis. If you read Wole Soyinka's Jero's metamorphosis, that's what has happened to Wike. Wike started from the spirit, demonic spirit of power. You know, when a man who has been a nobody gets power, he begins to change slowly and steadily. I don't know if you've read the book by the Brazilian author Paulo Freire, Pedagogy of the Oppressed. The oppressed man respects only one man, his oppressor. Wike used to respect Rotimi Amechi. And Rotimi Amechi had been my friend from the time he was Speaker of the River State House of Assembly. On one occasion, when they had their parliamentary conference in Accra, Ghana, Rotimi Amechi led our parliamentarians to my house in Accra, including the former governor of Absina, Aminu Mafari. They all ate in my house. In fact, Mafari told me that was the first time he would enjoy eba and okra. I never went on air to disparage them that okra fell on their garments. But that is Wike. So, after that, what happened was Wike got power. He became chairman of Phobia for local government. And that was when his metamorphosis started. Of course, after power in Nigeria comes the spirit of money. Also very demonic if you don't know how to manage it well. So Wike started making small money. He pretended to be supporting his boss, Rotimi Amechi, And then thereafter, he had enough money to drink his choice alcohol from Akpeteshi, otherwise known as Gogoro. He started drinking the most expensive alcohol. I went into Google before this interview to check if there is any similarity or correlation between alcohol and drugs. And I got the confirmation I needed. That in fact, alcohol and drugs are one and the same. They perform the same effects in the drinker and the drunkard. So what I saw on display last Friday on your show showed a man who was absolutely soaked in esoteric spirits. A man who was on a different planet. He was no longer on our planet. Yes. 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 I said it. Yes. My appeal to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that no matter what you are expecting to gain from Wike in 2027, Wike is not the kind of character you should promote. He's not the kind of young man who should hijack our common patrimony. So, as I said, he brought us into Port Harcourt. He took us everywhere. You can see, he even gave me his Mercedes, his Maybach, his everything. I could do no wrong. When he could not face Nnamdi Kanu's guys in, Oyigbo. Do you know, I was the one who went in there as a journalist to talk to the people live. You can see him. He took me personally around the hospital he was building in the State House. I wish we had the voice. Then you would have seen the way he was introducing me, the great journalist, the great this, the great that. That's Wike for you. When Wike needs you, when Wike needed Dr. Odili, he was very meek. When he needed the impatient Jonathan, he was very meek. If Wike needs you, he will do anything in this life. You can see me sitting down in front of him. That is his car. He told them to remove the flag. That was his official car. I appreciated him for it because he was telling me how he used to watch me and his boss, Samichi, in those days, flying helicopter. And I think the only time I flew an helicopter in Rivers was when we went for the funeral of then Vice President Goodluck Jonathan in Otuoke. So we had to take an helicopter to go there, Wale Babalaki, I think Iyabo Obasanjo was on that flight with us. So he's been watching us for a long time. And sometimes, again, referring to pedagogy of the oppressed man, according to Paulo Freire, has only one dream in life, to become an oppressor. So when an oppressed man becomes an oppressor, he will go all out.
Yeah. So, because the
he
description,
will go all
just
out
a moment.
to now act worse than his former oppressor. Yes.
Chief Dele Momodu, you appear to have benefited financially, of course, from Mr. Nyesom Wike. At what point did you fall out with him? What went wrong? Because you explained your history, which is part of your...
Mr. Nyesom Wike benefited immensely from my talents and from the pedigree of the Ovation Media Group. We touched him up. They say sometimes you can take a man out of the bush, but you cannot take the bush out of the man. We worked on Wike and he was happy. Every morning, when I'm in Port Harcourt, he will ask me to come to his house. We will make sure he dressed up very properly. We make sure that even we did a bit of speech therapy, telling him how to speak to people. But he had one major problem. That major problem was too much alcohol which when he takes it, and he takes it as early as possible in the morning. I've never tasted gin and tonic in my life. He introduced me to it, that it's a very good drink and everything. I'm surprised he wasn't talking about all those drinks. He was talking about only food. So what then happened was that at some stage, I realized that he had presidential ambition. And I also had presidential ambition. Wike cannot take competition with anybody. So I now wrote a letter to him that my biggest asset is my access to the high and mighty and also the ordinary citizens of Nigeria. Everywhere I go, I meet them. And I told him that in the north of Nigeria, you know something, Wike has a pathological hatred for the northerners because of whatever, I don't know. So I told him, I said, it's going to be difficult for him to get the ticket of the PDP. And I wanted to announce to him that in case he decides not to run, he should support me. From that moment, he got angry. But what I said came through. A former president of Nigeria sent someone to me, someone very, very top, that they should tell me not to waste my money on the PDP primary, that Wike had raised the stakes to $30,000 per delegate, 30,000 times 774 delegates. Of course, if you were to sell my family from first generation to the last generation, there was no way I was going to come up with that. And even if I could come up with that, I will never waste it. So you could hear Wike saying on your program, just before the primaries, on your program, when you asked him, so what do you think about the new entrants like Dele Momodu, and he just with who is Dele Momodu? That was where our trouble started. What I expected of him was that if you're not going to support a man, if you are going to run a fair race, and then let's leave it there. I wrote a letter and I copied the former Attorney General.
Now, if you check this interview, one, I will blame channels, because channel television have reduced themselves to the level where they are now discussing gossip. Yes, this is gossip. This one, talk for your body, you talk for your body. They are not discussing what is affecting Nigerians. Wike insults Dele Momodu. They bring Dele Momodu, make also insult Wike. That's what we are getting right now from our mainstream medias. Yes, the proper investigative journalism, none of them is practicing it anymore. What we get now is gossip. You beat me, I beat you. You curse me, I curse you. You be alcoholic, you be drug baron, you be this. That's all we get right now from our mainstream medias. And for Dele Momodu and Wike, these two can never be trusted. Yes, and I will tell you why Dele Momodu can never ever be trusted on my next video. What do I know? This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that is affecting you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.